I know it's weird. I'm doing videos in my car. I've just been compelled to start doing these videos, and I don't really care if people watch them. Well, I mean, the reason why I'm doing them is because I don't want people to go through what I had to go through in my relationship, and I was hoping that maybe I would just be part of getting the word out there that there are these people that we are in a sea of vipers, and these people fail to develop the way they should, and it starts in early childhood, infancy. They fail. So Erickson stages of development, 8 stages of development. They fail every single one of them because they fail the first couple of them. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. I just exited very abusive nightmare marriage. You could call it that, when you marry a 2-year-old. You don't know. He pretends to be a man. It's an experience. It's a big experience. And I want to heal properly from this. I discovered Professor Vaknin and was just overwhelmed with the understanding that I gained.
As seriously stupid people, as dummies.
That I continue to gain, because I continue to watch him about Narcissistic Personality Disorder. And it's hard. It's hard to wake up one day and be like, it was all a show. It was all a play. This person he's not real. He just plays. He's just playing. He's like a kid playing house, pretending to be daddy, pretending to be husband. It's all just, he just flitters about. Like, there's no core there. So there's no, gathering of experiences. There's no, these are my values. These are my values I try to stick to. There's not even that. Because they change from day to day.
And the child or the adolescent desperately continues to try to experiment with a variety of sexual orientation and gender roles and social roles and scripts. And this experimentation, this moratorium, never ends. And because this experimentation becomes a way of life, it is not possible to pinpoint an identity for this individual. This type of individual, and I'm talking about people age 30 and 40 and 50 and 60, this kind of individuals transition kaleidoscopically between a variety of gender roles and sexual orientations and belief systems and value systems and religions, and you can never pinpoint them. You can never say with any amount of certainty, this is who this person is. You can never rely or trust anything they say to you, because their values, for example, change from one day to the next. You cannot take their promises to the bank. They break their promises, not because they're evil or malignant or what have you, but because they are not the same person from one day to the next in the most profound sense.
He's just an actor on a stage. He's a tool of serving his own needs. Everything is motivated by need. Want, need. That's all. There's no person there that says, this is what I want for my future. This is who I want to be. Well, maybe there's a little bit of that. This is who I want to pretend to be. That's what it is. This is who I want to pretend to be, because they can't be a man. They can't be anybody. Because they failed in explaining the Erickson's developmental theory. And of course, I remember back in personality theory in college, that was my favorite one. And then I'm at work and they brought it up as being the standard of personality development. And now Professor Vaknin explain narcissism and the development of it using Erickson's 8 stages, and I'll link the video below here. Gosh dang it, forget why I have ADD, and I forget why I brought that up. Why I was talking about Erickson's stages of development. Yeah, ADD and narcissistic personality disorder. So when you can't remember anything, even from moment to moment, and then you've got somebody who doesn't care if you're confused, they don't have empathy, right? There's not a person there to put in someone else's shoes. So they can't feel what you're feeling because there's no man. It's like an emptiness. Professor Vaknin says they are defined by the void. It's a walking, what does he say? A walking, talking void?
It's a walking, talking void. It's deep space.
And it's so true. Like, no one explained it. And I even called him toward the end of our relationship. I called him hollow. I said, it's like you're hollow. But I didn't understand NPD in the way that I do, because there's so many people on the internet that don't know what the hell they're talking about. I mean, I like her. That Dr. Romani, I do like her. I think she's got a lot of good and true things to say, but she says other things that they're not true. She's like come up with her own theories about narcissistic personality disorder, attributes things to them that isn't actually facts. And I'm only talking about a couple of different things that I saw that I was like, well, no, that clashes with.
So coming up here, I'm going to include a clip of Dr. Romani talking about forgiveness, and what I want to demonstrate is that not everybody who speaks online knows what they are talking about completely. Now, they might have some truth, but you got to be careful, because I was so confused for so long about what he had. I thought, was it borderline personality? Was it psychopathy? Was he suffering from complex post-traumatic stress disorder? Or was he a narcissist, like an actual quote-unquote narcissist? Or did he just have narcissistic traits? Or was this just all like anger from his childhood? Or was I misinterpreting? Just spent years in confusion. And then when I found the right information, there was complete clarity. And there was validation of all of these things that I was like, this and that and this and that. I kept a lot of records trying to make sense of everything. And anyway, I'm going to introduce this clip, and then I'm going to show another clip of someone speaking what I believe is the truth regarding what she says.
Forgive someone who's hurt us so badly as a narcissist.
Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. I have to tell you that something that's very important to me is that no one ever feels that they have to forgive someone for hijacking their soul, because maybe there is no forgiveness for that. The pressure to forgive has led some people to feel guilty their whole lives, prematurely forgive. There's a really interesting body of literature out there that suggests that if we forgive someone who reperpetrates, it significantly harms the well-being of the forgiver. So all of our research, forgive, you'll feel better, forgive, you'll free yourself. Not so much, because not everyone leaves these relationships.
I just wanted to add here really quick that Jesus said, forgive someone 70 times 7 if they repent. And a lot of people don't realize that. Jesus wasn't saying to just forgive people and they don't repent. And forgiveness does not mean that you have to have that person in your life. And that's another thing that Dr. Romani is not touching on here, is that you can forgive someone from a distance. You can say, I don't want anything to do with you in terms of you being a part of my life, my day-to-day life, and still forgive that person, let go of that anger, bitterness, and give it over. This is where she does not know the truth. And I pray that she finds it for her sake and for all of her followers' sake. Give it over to God and say, God, do as you will with this person, whether it be to bless them or the opposite. My husband prayed when he was lying to me like you wouldn't believe, that if he was still lying to me, that God would strip him of his reputation and take away all of his blessings. And that is exactly what happened a little over a month later. Not by my doing, but by God's facilitation, by God's prompting, God's acting, by compelling me through the advice of others after certain series of events had happened. That is exactly what happened to him. So, do I forgive him? Yes. Because I've prayed good for him. I pray that God will be able to heal him, even though, according to Dr. Vaknin, there's no cure. I still pray that there's a way, because I know that with God, when there is no way, there is a way. God created everything. He created the eyeball. He created our ability to speak. He created our ability to love. I don't know. God is love, right? So that's a little bit gray area. Did God create the ability to love, or just the ability to express love through our tongue, through our words? I think it's that. He is love. He is truth. He is facts. He's all things that are reality and true. And the enemy comes in to distort, to lie, to confuse, and to cause delusion.
They're poisoning themselves. It's like hating somebody who's hurt you is like taking poison hoping they'll die. It's like me being mad at somebody who hurt me that's out having a good time and don't even care that I'm mad. That doesn't hurt them.
No.
And so maybe this husband's been gone 20 years and he's been having a good time in life and, you know, he's married again and whatever. And he couldn't care less that she's mad and still suffering.
He's moved on, sadly, but
he's moved on. And so it's pointless. It's like, okay, you hurt me, but now if I'm going to hate you, then I'm letting you continue to hurt me.
And have control in my life.
And you're controlling my life, and I'm not going to do that. But, John, I think the other part of this is, and I think this is very important, I think a lot of people want to forgive, but they don't know how to do it.
Okay.
And so...
And I think that's why it's so hard to... And yes, I do hold Professor Vaknin as the... I mean, I do trust his... He's a self-professed narcissist. And then he was a physicist back then, and then he decides to become a psychologist. And now he teaches psychology, and he has YouTube videos where he's teaching the world about this disorder. And this man has a 185 IQ or something, and I think it takes that IQ to explain it.
Narcissism. People ask me, why do you make so many videos about narcissism? Are you kidding me? Narcissism is where philosophy breaks down. I mean, forget psychology, forget relationship advice, forget YouTube coaches and self-styled experts and so on. Forget all this. This is the fluff. This is the fluff of the matter. This is the lintel on the suit. This is nothing. The alien landscape of the narcissist mind, which is non-human in any critical sense of the word. And why won't you trust your intuition?
Nobody else can explain it. I have not seen anybody else explain it. And he also No one can point a finger at him and say, you're being mean, you're not being forgiving, you're not being loving, because he's a self-professed narcissist. So anything he says negative about the narcissist, he's saying it about himself. So that's an added element of trust, I guess, or lack of ability to scrutinize, where any females that talk about it, including myself, you know, people could point their finger and say, oh, this person is just bitter. That's why she's saying these negative things about narcissists. She's hung up. I'm not hung up on him. I'm hung up on, like, what the heck did I just go through? Hours and 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 hours of trying to talk sense into this person that there's nobody there. Like, and you spend so much energy and time, and you know what I do focus on, though, is being grateful for the growth that I've had. And I mean, the amount of, my hand is cramping up, the amount of intellectual development that is required, a foundational understanding that he has given me, and then also make some videos that are geared toward men, because I don't think that men are being informed about these women that are narcissists. Some channels devoted to narcissistic wives too, but just putting some more information out there, because the collective force of truth and what is real is important, right? We know that God is truth. Anything true, anything factual is God, is of God. Because, you know, the enemy is the father of lies. And he'll twist, and he'll distort, confuse, chaos, confusion. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna continue putting. I have an hour drive to work. I live in the middle of nowhere. I work even more so in the middle of nowhere at a boys' ranch for troubled boys, for adolescents, for junior high level narcissists. I'm a teacher. A lot of them have NPD. I can see it. I see it now, you know? And so God allowed me to go through this relationship, perhaps, to help save some of these kids. And I don't know if they're, you know, at junior high level. They may still have a chance, right? To be. And I know it sounds simple, but if all the other stages prior to adolescence are successfully completed, then that's what happens in adolescence. So anyhow, I'm going to shut up now.
He's a mess. He's an absolute narcissist as seriously stupid people, as dummies, the quintessential, epitomized dummies.